Welcome to Rmax, a business unit of the Sika Corporation. Rmax has been a leading polyiso manufacturer for more than 40 years. Before beginning any project, you need to know what materials and tools will be needed. This video will introduce the basic materials to properly attach and seal the ECOMAXci Wall Solution, using either the self-adhered or the liquid-applied tapes and flashings. Rmax rigid continuous insulation boards are made of 3 layers: the back facer, the closed-cell polyiso foam, and a front facer. The front facer of the ECOMAXci FR air barrier is a durable reinforced aluminum with an Rmax shield logo. Install boards horizontally. The logo must be visible from outside the building. ECOMAXci FR air barrier continuous insulation is attached to steel studs with 2-inch diameter, thermal grip CI prong washer and ceramic-coated grip deck self-drilling screws. A construction safety utility knife with a retractable and replaceable razor blade is needed for cutting insulation, self-adhered membranes like the 3000 and 6000, or cutting a notch in a plastic putty knife for 2000 LF applications. A handy blade to have in addition to the razor blade is a 4-inch to 7-inch long insulation blade for thicker insulation. Rmax RCO 3000 is a reflective aluminum self-adhered tape used to seal the static joints between boards. A hard plastic squeegee is required for applying firm uniform point pressure on pressure-sensitive tapes after they are positioned. It can also be used to tear the 3000 tape and to smooth out wrinkles. Rmax RCO 6000 is a black woven, self-adhered flashing used to connect the boards to rough openings like windows, create water and airtight seals at pipe penetrations, and create dynamic or expansion joints. Utility shears are heavy-duty scissors that may be preferred over a standard utility knife, especially for cutting 6000 butyl flashing. A hard plastic roller is required for applying firm uniform rolling pressure on pressure-sensitive flashings after they are positioned. The following tools and the rest of this video will be for the application and tooling of 2000 LF liquid flashing. Rmax RCO 2000 LF is a gun-grade, liquid-applied joint sealant and flashing material. Gun grade means it is dispensed from a caulking gun, then tooled to the desired shape and thickness. As you may have guessed, the LF stands for liquid flashing. It comes in either a 20-ounce sausage or a 2-gallon pail. With 2000 LF sausages, a 20-ounce caulking gun will be needed. A battery-operated caulking gun is best but not required. When using a manual gun, we recommend a high thrust ratio of 18:1 or greater to be used for easier installation. With 2000 LF pails, a bulk caulking gun with proper bucket attachment will be needed. When using sausages, drop the sausage into the tube of the caulking gun and pierce the exposed end of the sausage with a utility knife, a half dozen times, going equally around the metal tie. Screw on the nozzle. Cut off the tip of the nozzle at an angle to create at least a 1/4 inch opening. This can be adjusted as the individual becomes comfortable with the caulk gun and the 2000 LF. Squeeze the handle several times until the sealant begins to exit the nozzle. The gun has been primed and the pressure can be released. If using a bolt gun, refer to the manufacturer's instructions for specific loading procedures and equipment. A wet film thickness gauge is a tool about the size of a credit card with notched edges or teeth. It's used to measure the wet thickness of a liquid applied product onto a substrate. When pressed through the liquid to the substrate, some of the notches become coated with LF. When removed, the highest numbered notch coated with LF represents the applied wet thickness. A measuring tape or other measuring device is an indispensable tool needed to verify the proper width of sealant has been tooled into place and reduce the number of callbacks. Make sure the measuring device has increments of at least 1/16 of an inch. A putty knife is needed to knock down the 2000 LF and can be used to tear the 3000 tape. Plastic putty knives are recommended as the 2000 LF will adhere tenaciously to metal and will be difficult to clean. 4-inch wide knives are great for the joints, and a 6-inch wide blade is good for rough openings. To ensure proper shape of the LF, we recommend a notched putty knife. The notch can be cut into the plastic putty knife just introduced. To do this, find the center of the blade and mark at least 1/2 inch on either side for a total of at least 1-inch wide area. Place a dime on a table or other flat surface. Stand the putty knife vertically next to the dime. Using a utility knife and the dime as a guide, score the putty knife between the previously made marks. Cut through the plastic blade with the utility knife following the scored line. Then, at the marks, cut away from the center at roughly 45 degrees to create a wider section at the bottom of the notch. This is to help create a feathered edge to allow water to flow over the sealant. Remove the cutout of the notch. With a tape measure, verify the width at the top of the notch to make sure it is at least 1 inch wide. Then stand the putty knife vertically and slide the dime under the notch. Everyone will hold a putty knife differently, and therefore the notch should be verified. On a spare section of ECOMAXci FR air barrier, test and measure a fresh bead of sealant. If the tooled strip is less than 30 mils thick with the wet film thickness gauge, make the notch deeper. Adjust the notch until the proper thickness is achieved. A soft or hard plastic round nose spatula is useful to tool the 2000 LF into fillets at corner and around pipes. This can be achieved or created with a rounded corner of a plastic putty knife. Thank you for using Rmax, a business unit of Sika Corporation.